welcome back to another video, guys. To those new viewers out there, my name is Abhishek Nair. I'm a graduate engineer working in Leicester, and in this week's video I'll be showcasing how I organize my iPhone and what apps do I use on a day-to-day basis. So stay tuned and let's get into it. So my first page is my default page, and it consists of all the apps that I use that helps me with my productivity. And let's get into it. So the first app that I usually like to use is Notion. Now Notion is my go-to app because it's my digital repository for all things I work on, whether that be my content calendar, or my library, my internet library that I tend to use on a day-to-day basis, to upload any articles that I need. I usually have a to-do list that I tend to do as well. Because it's okay. So I have a to-do list that I usually and that's so it's based on monthly basis, and I tend to sort of have this organized. So for today's, my to-do list is to read an hour, learn Mandarin for 15 minutes, exercise, shoot this video and edit it. And it's a really great app because I'm able to accumulate a lot of information. So that's Notion. My second one is Kindle. I love Kindle because if I don't have my actual paperwhite Kindle, I usually use this app during lunchtime when I'm at work to read for a couple of hours. The next book that I intend to read is the Show Your Work by Austin Klein. And I'm hoping it'd be an interesting read. The next app is Drafts. Now I recently came across Drafts because I find it highly beneficial in composing my weekly email, newsletters, or any information that I find interesting, or any ideas that's sort of churning in my head and I want to sort of write it down. So this is a great app for you to use. So anything that can be written. Instapaper is another app that I find highly useful. Often if I'm in a rush, I would usually just save the article on Instapaper and then sort of just come back to it and sort of read through, or when I'm having my cup of coffee in the morning and just spend a couple of minutes just reading through it. Pocket is another app that tends to do the same thing, and it has a lot of variety of articles from different authors, and some of them are quite interesting. So I really enjoy those two apps. Crowdcast is something that I came across much recently. This app is like a webcast. So often, for example, recently I was introduced to an author named Maria Pollan, and she's a productivity guru in Notion. So she's a very awesome person in sort of composing different dashboards using the power method of composing your work life and your work projects. So I watched that on 1st of May, which was great. Voice memos is I find this very useful to have it in my default page, like the first page. Only because if I need to dictate any sort of ideas or sort of create voice memos of any potential ideas, instead of writing it down, I can just speak it out and then sort of save it and action it at a later pace. Go Record I love Go Record because it's like a recorder for your phone. So, and you'll see an example when I do publish this video. You'll see the example on the screen, what I've been doing. To-do list is much more, it's more of composing my trivial or non-essential tasks that I need to do during the day. Such as, whether this be like hoovering the room. So today I have to hoover my room, iron my shirts, call my mama, my uncle, for those out there, non-Asian people. And Castro is my podcast. Not my podcast. Podcast that I like listening to mostly is usually Tim Ferriss, and a lot of guys from the Agent Efficiency, TED Talks, Derek Sivers. Yeah, so so for instance, let's say if I have, everything's going wrong right now. Bear with me, guys. Alright, let's do this again. Okay, so if I want to listen to, let's say, The Unmissable, and I want to listen to Ramit Sadie's, and so I can just do that, and I can do that. So it comes into my actual list of podcasts that I want to listen to, right? So it's pretty cool. And you'll see this when I have the screen available. My next set of, so yeah, those are my default apps that I tend to use on a day-to-day basis, and I found them to be highly effective in getting things done much easily. I've sort of set them in my default page because they are there's less resistance to it, and I can access them without any, swiping to the next page, going to a certain folder and stuff like that. My non-essential apps, right? So my non-essential apps, again, is my social media that my handle. I've created within a folder, so it gives me a lot more. I have to do a lot more. I have to take a lot more effort to get to a certain app, especially Instagram. I also have like a time restriction on it, so if you guys didn't know how to do that, time restrictions are placed through screen time, and so I have a 15-minute time limit, so I can only use Instagram for 15 minutes a day. I also have a downtime, and so it's an everyday thing, so after 10 o'clock literally there's like downtime stop on my apps. I have a financial app that has all my credit card apps, debit card apps, navigation. It's a lot more default apps that I'm currently using now. Uber, Waze, I love it. While I was in Romania, that was the app that I was using all the time. Meditation is another app, Waking Up by Sam Harris, that I've recently got into. It's not my default app at the moment. It's not something I placed in my default app, but potentially could be making a transition the more I get into it. Work apps, I'm not going to go into it much, and I'm currently using Outlook as my email provider, but I think as I progress on, I'll probably be shifting away from it and probably looking for something more productive and efficient. So yeah, that's my apps that I use on a day-to-day basis. Thank you for watching this video, guys. If you found this video useful and informative, please consider subscribing to my channel, and I look forward to hearing from you guys in the comments below. And yeah, have a good day.